Bernie Sanders popped the Fox News bubble on the issue of healthcare last night. Let's watch.
I believe that healthcare is a right of all people. I believe that there is something wrong when we are spending...
Where did that right come from in your mind?
Being a human being. I believe that if she is poor and you are rich, she is entitled to the same quality healthcare that you have because she's a human being.
I love how simple that is. I love how to the point that is. And I love how the Fox host, and he's one of the smarter Fox hosts, he's like, excuse me, where does that right come from? Come on, let's be adults here. Obviously, adults are in favor of letting some people bleed out in the street. Come on. If you don't have money, maybe bleed out in the street. Am I right? Okay, this is what Fox News needs. They need somebody who's a leftist to come in and say, okay, you're so immensely wrong about virtually everything, and I'm about to run circles around you and explain just how wrong you are. Like, the thing is, I'm not sure your average Fox viewer knows. In fact, I just think they don't know that healthcare is a right in every other modern country. Like, if you tell that to Fox News viewers, they'd probably be like, no, what? No, I don't think that's true. Or if you tell them that many modern nations have universal college, paid for via tax dollars, you don't have to worry about going into debt. I think if you tell them that, they'd be like, come on. Or you tell them, hey, they get paid vacation time by law. So in some countries, you get as much as a month off paid by law. Wouldn't that be great? It's like you have your own little mini summer vacation or whatever. Like, that happens when you're an adult. It's not just when you're young. Because here, when you grow up, it's like, oh, now I have to work virtually every day of my life. Maybe I get a week off or 2 weeks off a year if I'm lucky. There, it's like, no, every year it's guaranteed about a month paid off by law. I mean, you tell them that, they'll be like, seriously? Like, that sounds awesome. But they don't know because they've been lied to. They've been lied to every day about, oh, big bad government is coming to get you and it's tyranny and, Medicaid is the same thing as, the government taking all your money. No, it's not. It's actually having a government-run healthcare system, in that case for the poor. Medicare is for the elderly. Why not do Medicare for all like Bernie's advocating? And, I think Bret Baier was also maybe trying to, get him to say something about God there. Where does that right come from? Here on Fox News, we always say God, 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 God. And he's like, no, it's from being a human being. It's like, it's so hilarious that the people who consider themselves the most religious and the most Jesus-y, they missed it on this one. Like, oh, perhaps Jesus would have been in favor of giving anybody health care when they need it. Crazy. Perhaps Jesus would have prioritized funding healthcare over blowing up random brown people in the Middle East. Wacky, I know. I mean, think about all the money we spend. $80 billion a year in corporate welfare checks to the big banks. We endless corporate welfare in other respects, whether it's Walmart or $4 billion a year to ExxonMobil, pork barrel projects, which are wildly unnecessary, all the military spending we do. All that shit is just a waste of money. You could cut there big time, if not eliminate in some respects, when it comes to some corporate welfare, and easily fund the stuff that Bernie's talking about. But again, on Fox News, they twist it and make it seem like, well, debt, deficit, problems, we can't fund that stuff. But don't you dare ask where the money comes from for endless wars in the Middle East and interventions in 7 countries, which we're doing right now. So he goes in there, he pops the bubble, he runs circles around them. And guys, understand, when you talk about Donald Trump on the right, he's going to get crossover voters. He's going to get disaffected blue-collar Democrats who, they don't think the Democrats have really been in favor of unions and in favor of the middle class and in favor of working people. And Trump is saying some things that are populist. I don't think he believes them, and I don't think he's going to do anything about it, but he's saying the populist things. Trump will get crossover voters that are Democrats. He just will. Now, the flip side is also true. Bernie Sanders is going to get some crossover Republican voters. Again, you might think that's crazy. Oh, my God, he calls himself a democratic socialist, blah, 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 blah. The American people care much less about labels than you think they do. Now, it is true by opinion polls, if you're an atheist or a socialist, that's low on the list of people, okay, they don't like that, right? But in terms of if you hear what they're actually saying and you're not caught up on just the label, they're going to go, oh, that guy sounds like he's for me. That guy sounds like he cares about the middle class. He cares about the poor. He thinks healthcare is a right. medical bills in the U.S. is the number one cause of bankruptcy. You know, people might not know that, but they know our system's fucked up. I'm sure many people have medical bills who are Republicans who are out there like, fuck, what am I going to do about this? You listen to a guy like Bernie, you're going to go, okay, the propaganda is not getting through. I need to, this is a guy who I absolutely should consider because it's obvious that he's honest, he's trustworthy, as all the polls show, and he is for me. So there you have it, man. Bernie Sanders popping that bubble, and boy, was it glorious. Yes, healthcare should be a right, and it's a right because you are a human being. I mean, what's the counter to that? Seriously. The counter is either, yeah, let some people bleed out in the street and die, or, sure, you give them the care, but then you bankrupt them afterwards. Both of those positions, yes, are callous, cretinous, abhorrent, wretched, disgusting positions morally.